Cosmology, Space in Motion, and Why the Big Bang Theory is Not Correct. Space is, from the human viewpoint, nothing negative. It exists only as related to something positive and non-spatial. Space is, however, real. It contains and conditions motion. It even moves. Space motions may be roughly classified as follows. 1. Primary motion. Space respiration, the motion of space itself. 2. Secondary motion, the alternate directional swings of the successive space levels, and you can see that in the illustration I've made. 3. Relative motions, relative in the sense that they are not evaluated with paradise as a base point. Primary and secondary motions are absolute motion in relation to unmoving paradise. And 4. Compensatory or correlating movements designed to coordinate all other motions. The present relationship of your Sun and its associated planets, while disclosing many relative and absolute motions in space, tends to convey the impression to astronomical observers that you are comparatively stationary in space, and that the surrounding starry clusters and streams are engaged in outward flight at ever-increasing velocities as your calculations proceed outward in space. But such is not the case. You fail to recognize the present outward and uniform expansion of the physical creations of all pervaded space. Your own local creation, Nebdon, participates in this movement of universal outward expansion. The entire 7 super-universes participate in the 2 billion-year cycles of space respiration, along with the outer regions of the master universe. When the universes expand and contract, the material masses in pervaded space alternately moves against and with the pull of paradise gravity. The work that is done in moving the material energy mass of creation is space work, but not power energy work. Although your spectroscopic estimations of astronomical velocities are fairly reliable when applied to the starry realms belonging to your super-universe and its associate super-universes, such reckonings with reference to the realms of outer space are wholly unreliable. Spectral lines are displaced from the normal towards the violet by an approaching star. Likewise, these lines are displaced towards the red by a receding star. Many influences interpose to make it appear that the recessional velocity of the external universes increases at the rate of more than 100 miles a second for every million light-years increase in distance. By this method of reckoning and subsequent to the perfection of more powerful telescopes, it will appear that these far-distant systems are in flight from this part of the universe at the unbelievable rate of more than 30,000 miles a second. But this apparent speed of recession is not real. It results from numerous factors of error embracing angles of observation and other time-space distortions. But the greatest of all such distortions arises because the vast universes of outer space and the realms next to the domains of the 7 super-universes seem to be revolving in a direction opposite to that of the grand universe. That is, these myriads of nebulae and their accompanying suns and spheres are at the present time revolving clockwise about the central creation. The 7 super-universes revolve about paradise in a counterclockwise direction. It appears that the second outer universe of galaxies, like the 7 super-universes, revolves counterclockwise about paradise. And the astronomical observers of Uversa think they detect evidence of revolutionary movements in the third outer belt of far distant space, which are beginning to exhibit directional tendencies of a clockwise nature. It is probable that these alternate directions of successive space processions of the universes have something to do with the intra-master universe gravity technique of the universal absolute, which consists of a coordination of forces and an equalization of space tensions. Motions, as well as space, is a complement or equilibrium of gravity.